بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته, and welcome to the episode of Ask Abu Productive. Today's question is something that may have crossed your mind before, and it's something inshallah ta'ala will help you with some practical tips and techniques. So here's a question. I spend more time worrying about things than getting things done. What should I do? This is a very common question I get a lot. People ask me, what do I do? I'm always worried about things. I'm worried either about my future, or worried about my job, or worried about my kids, or worried about my family, or worried about, some situation happened at work or at school. How do I overcome it? Now, first of all, if you're going to be worrying for the sake of worrying, then that is something you should try to avoid. Because if you're always worrying, nothing will change. You yourself being worried and being anxious and sitting in your room and crying about it or being upset about it, it will not change the situation, it will only make you feel worse. So there are two types of worry. There are types of worry that you can do something about. For example, if you had a difficult situation with a family member or at work or at school, then you can do something about it. You can speak to the person, you can complain to the authorities, you can take some kind of action that that will help you overcome that worry. Sometimes you have worries about things that you can do something about, but it's in the future. For example, let's say you're worried about your kids becoming teenagers and not sure if you can manage to control them. So that's something you can prepare for. You can take courses on how to manage your kids as they become older. You can take, you can read books about it. So if you can do something about it, then do something about it, either by talking to the person or taking some kind of immediate action or preparing yourself on the thing that you're worried about. Let's say you're worried about whether you'll be employable in 5 years' time. Then the action there is to take some courses, take some professional courses to keep yourself, always employable in the job market. So these are something you can do about. These are worries you can do something about. If you have a worry that you are concerned about, but you cannot do anything about, for example, I don't know, you're worried about the whole economy collapsing one day. You're worried about some major war happening in your area. You're worried about things that are outside your control. Then these are things, number one, you should have faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and believe that in His hands is all good and He only wants what's good for you. And secondly, you should not use this worry to overburden you, because you'll just be overwhelmed and not be able to do anything. And you should direct that worry towards more productive pursuits, either volunteering or learning or teaching or doing something that's much more productive than just sitting and worry about things which you cannot do about. Finally, remember the dua Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to make when he was worried, or in any time. He used to make it also at the end of his prayers, which is Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-hammi wal-hazan wal-'ajzi wal-kasal wal-jubni wal-bukhl min dala'i al-qahr rijal. Oh Allah, I seek refuge in you from anxiety and sadness. And anxiety and sadness all comes from being worried and from being sad. So Allah, Muhammad used to seek refuge in Allah from these feelings, because these feelings are productivity killers. These things can really put you down. So the best thing you can do is overcome those worries by asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and taking action inshallah ta'ala. So in summary, don't worry for the sake of worrying, because that will just hurt you. Secondly, if you can do something about it, whether facing the situation immediately or preparing for the situation, then do it. If not, then don't worry about it, and channel your worries into something that is more productive, that is more helpful, that has better outcome inshallah ta'ala. And of course, don't forget the dua of overcoming worry, which is Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-hammi wal-hazan wal-'ajzi wal-kasal wal-jubni wal-bukhl min dala'i al-qahr rijal. I'll put this dua in the show notes and in the description of this video inshallah ta'ala. Jazakumullah khair, and please stay in touch with Ask Abu Productive. You can send us your questions, or you can sign up to my newsletter at productiveness.com/newsletter, or visit our website productiveness.com, where there's lots of articles on how to become a more productive Muslim. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.